Hey YouTube, it is Thursday night and we're going to try and play a little bit of Phantasy Star Online. So let's pop in the game and see who is online tonight. Okay, so the patcher is loading. We'll pop that out, switch in the game disc. We should be good to go. So, technical issues abound. If you're watching this, listening to this, it means that my GoPro is working again. I think possibly my GoPro is about to be retired. For whatever reason, it just stops recording sporadically, and I really don't understand why. My new theory is that perhaps it has to do with the iPhone app. So now I am just kind of hoping that everything is in frame properly, and I am not using the iPhone app. I'd like to update the iPhone app and maybe see if that is the issue, but for whatever reason, I can't remember my iTunes password. So that's a whole other bag of problems. But anyways, trying to figure it all out. I wanted to play Choo Choo Rocket on Wednesday with the rest of the Dreamcast live crowd. But for whatever reason, I couldn't figure out that password, even after watching previous videos. It looks like perhaps the password might have been changed, but you know, it was probably me. Anyways, above and beyond that, there's been all sorts of garbage happening in the personal life. Nothing too serious. It's just that we had a birthday party last weekend, and all of us, like we ordered in dinner. It was great. The next day, all of us got Norwalk virus, which you can read the symptoms if you want online. It's fucking terrible. So I was out for like 4 days. My partner, who never is able to, like, never calls in sick to work ever since I've known her, like over a decade, well, she was off for 4 days as well. And yeah, it was just terrible stuff. So anyways, we're all better-ish now. At least enough to put your face on camera and get out in the world. But yeah, it's been pretty rough. But above and beyond that, not too bad. Actually had a couple of successful pickups lately. Not all game related, but a couple of interesting things nonetheless. Okay, cool. Let's see who's in Altamira. Maybe we'll find some hunters that want to play there. And yes, it would be nice to find some players on Ultimate. I think that's what I'm going to push for today. Myself, like I think some of the people watching recently, I'm getting a little tired of just going to like normal games and hard games when my character is fully capable of playing the Ultimate levels. It's not fun. That's what it all amounts to. Cool. Can I join? Nice. Here we go. But you know, I like to help out people starting out, and because people help me out when they're starting out, and their characters are much stronger as well. But I can see if, you know, it can be a little bit boring to watch, and quite frankly, it is a bit boring to play. But I do enjoy helping folks out. So okay, so who do we got here? Sleep, Jim Bob, and Dan. Cool. Well, let's introduce ourselves. Hey, crew. Okay, so as soon as my guy jumps in here, let's go to the green pipe. Wow, it's really lagging to connect. Oh, here we go. Maybe you can hear my Dreamcast in the background just chugging. Okay, do I have to get rid of anything first? It's probably a good idea to clear my inventory before I get out there. No, everything I have is pretty useful. Okay, let's use the green pipe and see what everybody else is up to. So yeah, above and beyond that, there's been a couple of cool things happening, but I had a couple of really interesting pickups, and maybe I'll just go through those first if you're interested. First thing was, okay, cool, where is everybody? First thing is something that I don't see too often nowadays, and that is Game Boy Advance related stuff. I think that system is really getting popular again. Well, I don't think it was ever not popular, but oh. Okay, I accidentally grabbed Dan's red handgun. Yeah, Game Boy Advance related stuff. It's a system that I don't think ever really fell out of favor with most Game Boy fans, but I don't really see a lot of it lately. There was a good chunk of time, like I would say 3-4 years ago, when thrift stores and things like that, you would still find them quite regularly. Just kind of sitting in bags, and they didn't really have any kind of standardized price. I should say they didn't have any individualized price. Like nobody really thought they were a system that people were actively, I guess, collecting and selling for quite a bit of money. So, I'd find bags for, $2-3, and they'd have all sorts of games in them. And some of them would be like shit. Like there was a lot of shovelware for that system, and some of them would be pretty decent. You'd find the odd Pokemon game, stuff like that in there. But those times, like a lot of this kind of collecting stuff, those are long gone. You don't see that stuff ever nowadays, and it's disappointing. But it is what it is. It's unfortunately all part of the retro scene. Like people jump onto something and the prices just get inflated out the roof. So, I guess, the same thing, well, I don't guess, like I know the same thing happened for Dreamcast too. If this was only a couple of years ago, you could buy most of these games that I'm playing now, which are a small fortune for, like, I don't think most games went over 50, like maybe $80 max. And now some of like the most popular titles are going for well over 100. Even some of the more common titles are ranging in the $50 to $40 range, and it's probably going to stagnate. I'd say I don't think it's going to go much higher than that. I mean, I said the same thing for Nintendo, but look how that turned out. That said, I think the Dreamcast community is kind of, I don't know, stabilized for the most part. Like there's a lot of newcomers coming in and stuff like that, but I don't see a lot of those new people buying a lot of the more coveted titles, like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or GigaWind 2 or a Mars Matrix or something like that. They jump in and they want to play Phantasy Star Online, they want to play Sonic, they want to play like Crazy Taxi, shit like that. Common fun stuff. But where am I headed there? But you just never know. You can never really predict how these things are going to go. You can't predict which titles are going to be popular. Well, you can to some degree, but you can't totally rely on those predictions. Like like what's going to be coveted, what's going to be expensive, and stuff like that. So for the most part, I think Dreamcast is a pretty good position, because I think a lot of the more sought after titles are fairly common, and it is a great system in the sense that, you know, I guess it sucked at the time, but oh, where's Dan? Oh, he's in the other room. Okay, we'll let him go and fix Dan. Yeah, let's go and charge up here. Okay. But because it's so easy to pirate games on the system, you know, I don't think a lot of people are too interested in spending hundreds of dollars on a game disc unless you're a serious collector. So anyways, back to Game Boy Advance. So I started picking up on Game Boy Advance a little while ago. It hasn't been too long. It's only been a few years that I've been kind of grabbing titles here and there. And I've got some good ones. I've got some not so good ones. Yeah, I got a couple of pieces of shovelware, but they're kind of like, well, you shouldn't even say shovelware, but just extremely common titles that I still find are kind of fun. I showed off a few recently that maybe aren't necessarily the most common, but are fairly easy to find still. And I guess that kind of brings me to what I'm talking about here. And that is kind of what I ran into recently. And it was a pretty cool find. Like, now this isn't the best way to play your Game Boy Advance games, but you know, I found an original Game Boy Advance with an Interact rumble pack on the back and sound enhancer. So, and I put a battery in, or sorry, I didn't put a battery in, but I just charged it because it has a battery, and it actually has 4 batteries to compensate for the 2 that generally go into the Game Boy Advance. So it runs a bit longer too, which is kind of nice. And the rechargeable battery seems to hold a decent charge. It probably will be needing some replacing. Oh, these fucking things are such a pain in the ass. But you know, I'm probably not going to play it that often either, if I was to be honest with myself, because the original Game Boy Advance isn't really the best way to play your Game Boy Advance games. That, of course, is the Game Boy Advance SP AGS 101, which I have one of, and I actually ended up buying a replacement case for it because I got it for like, I think $2 or $3, because it was all beat to hell. But as long as the components are decent in it, you can always get a replacement case on like Alibaba for, you know, $2, $3, sometimes a little bit more, and free shipping and stuff like that too, which is really, really cool. And they look great. They're pretty accurate to the original Game Boy Advance cases. They're not exactly accurate, and the material they use, it's pretty decent plastic, but it does have a slightly different feel than your regular sort of Game Boy Advance. It does come with, generally the packs do come with replacement stickers too, for like your Nintendo emblem and things like that, but they're just slightly off. I think I wouldn't try to pass them off as genuine Game Boy Advances. And certainly if you're going to resell it, mention that it was a case swap. I don't think a lot of people are going to care. As long as it has that beautiful AGS 101 screen, most people are going to be satisfied. So yeah, anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. It was kind of nice to run into something like that. And I don't really have much of the original Game Boy Advance in terms of like hardware, so it's kind of nice to at least have one piece that I can, you know, hold on to and just add to the collection and stuff like that. Like I said, I probably won't use it for gameplay, but it is nice to have on hand. And actually, it is probably the more comfortable Game Boy to play with, Game Boy Advance to play with, but it's that screen. Like, same thing with the Game Boy Color. The screen is smaller than like a Game Boy Pocket, and you can't adjust the contrast, and it looks too dark. You need to have it in like really bright light in order to play. And you know, like most of those LCD games, if you have it in too bright a light, then what happens is it all washes out. There's actually a cool YouTube channel called This Does Not Compute, and they explain why you can't do a Game Boy Advance LCD screen swap, or sorry, not swap. Rather, you probably could do a swap. I've seen people put the guts of a Game Boy Advance SP AGS 101 into a standard Game Boy Advance, but you can't mod it to be backlit like you can like a Game Boy or something like that. So I can't remember the science behind it. I suggest watching the YouTube video. Again, the guy's channel is This Does Not Compute, and he explains it has to do with the way the film is on the screen. Apparently, depending on whether it's on the front or the back of the film, depends on how the light captures the image on the from the LCD, and it'll make a big difference. So yeah, there's that. Again, that was pretty cool. I was not expecting to find one of those out in the wild. I found a couple of systems, like handheld systems recently, that kind of shocked me that they're just sort of sitting there. And I guess it all depends on which thrift stores I go to, because some of them I try to go to the ones. Oh, you stupid fuck! I generally try to go to the ones that I notice a lot of older people are working at, and that's just because I assume they're probably not. I assume they're probably not looking at video games the same way a few younger people might. So I also found a couple of games out there too, which is kind of nice. Maybe we should ask the team if we're waiting or not. Should we wait here? All right. Nah. Okay. Let's jet then. Okay, where did our friends go? Are they in here? No, this was a treasure trap room, I think. Where did everybody go? Okay, they obviously didn't go this way. Item pack. Area map. Okay, let's go back. Press button. What? Oh, this button here? Okay, let's get the traps. Alright, where am I? Jesus, where did everybody go? Are all of you on DC modem? DreamPi. Okay, cool. So yeah, the other things I found today were this game, which I was intrigued with because I've played it on Dreamcast and it's fantastic. I never played it on N64. But I know that it's been ported to N64. And, oh shit, let's get rid of these guys. Holy fuck. And it's a really good game. Sorry, I was just getting distracted here. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Press start 10 times and go to bottom of the screen. I'm interested to see what this conversation's about. What? Oh. Interesting. Okay, we'll have to check that out. So anyways, this game is fantastic on the original Dreamcast. And I thought, okay, it'll be kind of it'd be an interesting oddity to play on the Game Boy Color. Nope. Okay. Press Y to contribute. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, well, I'm pressing Y. Nothing happened. I don't fucking know. People keep telling me to contribute, and I keep fucking it up. Okay, back to what I was saying. So I did play it on PC back in the day too, and it was a lot of fun on PC. I used to play with a friend all the time. And I thought, okay, well, I'll check it out. You know, like the cost was only $3, and I was like, okay, cool, let's pick it up, bring it home. We don't own it, so if anything, it just crosses it off a potential list for. I don't think I'll ever have a complete Game Boy Color collection, but I do enjoy the system, so it's always good to have a couple of the more odd games. And that game is Star Wars Racers for the Game Boy Color. You may notice it's an odd shape of cartridge, and that is actually because there's a little battery that goes in right here for the rumble pack. And then the idea is that when you're playing, you can get some sort of like feedback effects and stuff like that. So again, I played it on PC, I played it on the Dreamcast. Very great racing game. The movie sucks. I saw the movie in theaters way back when it was released. And yeah, I think like most people of my age, they were expecting much more than they got. So anyways, I picked it up on Game Boy Color, and I thought, okay, well, I've seen some interesting racing games on the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Color is obviously a generation behind, but it did have some pretty decent little it did have some pretty decent games, and you know, hey Dan. So I started playing it for just a couple of seconds just to try it out. It's fucking god awful. It is a terrible racing game. So instead of being third person, it's now overhead view, kind of similar to like a GTA type view, like original GTA. And yeah, it is fucking brutal. The gameplay mechanics in it and stuff like that, like it feels like it drifts a lot, and it's really hard to control, and it kind of looks ugly too. It looks like really cheap. Like, I hate to say it, but it almost reminds me of like an Atari style racing game. It's so bad. Oh, you cunts. let's tag some of these guys, see if we can kill a few of these guys. Okay, good, we got it. So yeah, I could only play for like a couple of minutes, and I was like, no, this ain't happening. That said, it's kind of nice to just check it off the list of interesting little Game Boy games that I don't own, and I've added to my collection for a very nominal price. Am I using that word properly? I don't fucking know. So the next game I got, it's funny because it's a very popular series, and I am not a huge fan of it. I never really was. Like, I am a fan of it for a very small window of time, and then I realized how repetitive it is, and it's just, it bores me so much after a while. It's kind of fun at the start, and I always think that the games are going to be different, but they're not. And of course, that's Pokemon. But whenever I see a Pokemon cart, I always got to grab it. So anyways, I ended up finding a copy of Pokemon Silver, and it was only $5, so I picked it up. Doesn't look like many people are chatting on Dreamcast Talk tonight either. And I probably won't play it. I think I showed off a little while ago. I ended up finding a copy of Pokemon Yellow. And that is actually the game that I prefer to play. I played Pokemon Yellow for quite some time on my original Game Boy Pocket. Got it from a friend of mine, and I used to play it when I was supposed to be doing a college placement, because I hated that college placement. And then, we went our separate ways. We were roommates at the time. And I've always been curious to play it again, but ever since, like I was saying, retro gaming got popular again, or I shouldn't say again, but got popular and got very expensive. You can't really find that game for less than $40. So anyways, I showed that copy that I got in a trade, and I'm interested to play it just to say I did. I might break it out on the original Game Boy Pocket I actually used to own. I do have, and that was the silver one. It's a little beat up. I do have that nicer one that's a clear, which I wasn't aware it goes for quite a bit of money nowadays. So yeah, I might break it out and play it, but who knows? It's one of those games that's really time consuming. From what I understand, best played via the network cable with other people to trade Pokemons, and that just simply isn't going to happen. I can guarantee there's a community out there that choose to do that with their link cables, but I'm not that person. Okay. Am I at least going to be able to tag it? Oh, I don't know if I got anything for that. Oh well. Cool. Oh no. I love this Android gun that I was given. Fuck, is it ever good? Who gave it to me again? I think it was Kuroheim. Beautiful gun. Makes me feel like I'm actually playing the game. It has this lightning attack on its special attack, and it's not very effective, but it might be effective against certain enemies better than others, and I'm just not utilizing it properly. So yeah, the next things I have are not really game related, but they're very interesting. So in addition to collecting video games, You know, I have a modest collection of video games. They're fairly nice. The ones I have, I enjoy, and oh fuck, I knew I shouldn't have been so greedy and tried to save my dimates and stuff. God damn it. Can't rely on the other team members to heal me. It's not their job. Okay, and give me my Android rifle. Thank you. So, yeah, above and beyond collecting video game related stuff, I also have a pretty modest collection of vintage synthesizers. Let's feed our mag over here. And I always like running into like a lot of like those toy keyboards from the 80s, like those Casio ones and those Yamaha ones, because they're actually really nice sounding, for one thing, and another is that they're incredibly fun to play. Some of them. Ooh, a little treasure room. Anything good? No. Oh, he's got a little choo-choo rocket guy. Okay, did I do it? I guess. I don't know what I did. Cool. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, I got a nice little collection of vintage synthesizers, and mostly the ones I like to collect are from like the PSS series of Yamaha. And sometimes I'll run into a decent Casio too. Like last year I found a good Casio SK1, which, if you're not familiar with it, if you were kind of a child born in the early 80s, more than likely you had one of these, or a friend of yours had one of these growing up. They're pretty popular. Anyways, they were just a little keyboard. It was like, I think it was 28 keys. And you could sample 1.8 seconds of audio data into it. And most people just use the microphone and would just say stuff like, you know, hello, and then it would transpose the sample over the course of the notes. So, you know, those were super fun. And then people later on, of course, started modding them and adding MIDI capabilities and things like that. So they become a little bit of a tweaker's best friend. That, and if you ever run into old speak and spells, people really enjoy those as well, kind of playing around with those. I have two, but one is a speak and math and the other one is a super speak and spell. So I don't have the original speak and spell. I'm not going to be paying $50 for one either, but I assume I'll find one, you know, just kicking around in the wild someday. Oh, pardon me for yawning. Okay, where are we going? Uh-oh. I hope the game is not cutting out. No, it's not. So yeah, the other thing that I got that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying about collecting old synthesizers. Oh, looks like he may have disappeared. Oh no, he just jumped up ahead. Okay, good enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to start tagging these guys sooner because I'm losing all this XP from being so slow. Okay, I need some more materials. That would help too. So yeah, I was just kind of out there in the wild, and I was looking on the electronics shelf at a Value Village. And I saw this and I was like, wow, that looks fucking neat. So grabbed it. Don't really have a solidified plan for it yet, but I kind of do. Probably just get like a breadboard and try and program it a little bit, maybe with the Raspberry Pi. But it has all the instructions on it. It was a complete kit. And that's right here, it's a voice synthesizer chip from Arrow, which was like a from the parent company is Radio Shack. And yeah, it's just the chip. So it's basically the same chip that is used in things like the Speak and Spell. And I was looking at demos online, and yeah, if you program it properly, it'll sound just like that instrument. So I'm very, 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 very curious about that that chip and how I'm going to actually utilize it. I think I'd like to try and incorporate it into some form of a keyboard and maybe see if it's possible to, I don't know, have it play some sort of voice modulation over a bunch of keys. Maybe I can pre-program in some set sounds or something like that. But anyways, regardless, it sounds cool. Maybe it can get like that kind of vocode type effect that, like, you know, you don't speak into it and get a vocoder effect like that, but like some of those old keyboards had this nice sort of wafty, I guess it would be like a PCM wave of a voice, and you could transpose it over the keys, and those always sounded kind of nice to me. I always liked those sounds. So, and again, I think I paid $2 for it, so still in the case, still has the instructions. We'll see how it goes. Okay, where? Shit. Okay, heal up, heal up, heal up. Shoot as many of these fuckers as I can. Okay, I should probably use some of my material sooner than later. Cool, more hit material. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna die. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Can't talk now, guys. Come on, give me a break. Let me try and beat this guy. He's gonna kill me a lot. Oh, we lost a player. Who'd we lose? Sleep, Jim Bob. Oh, that sucks. Smile, you son of a bitch. Okay, where did he go? It feels so nice to do some damage. I'm just doing quick hits too. They have like the best attack, but they don't really attack for that much. Actually, you know what? Like, I mean, I don't want to say best attack, but fastest attack plus the most accuracy. But you know what? This isn't doing too bad. Maybe I'll stick with my heavy attack. So far, I haven't missed a shot. Nice. Okay, we broke off the cap. Where did he go? Where did he go? $48. Press Y when I go. Okay. Tagging him, we're tagging him, we're tagging him. guys. I'm gonna do my best to donate. Gonna do my best, guys. I don't want to let you down. Okay, I think I did it. Oh no! No, 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 no. Okay, I think that means I have to tag again, or else I don't get the XP. Fuck. Oh, you son of a cunt. God damn it. Nice. Okay, I think I snuck one last shot in before he died. Ugh, tricky. 7,000 XP. As it should. And I didn't get anything. No prob. Awesome. Okay, cool. 7,000 XP. Nice. I'm only 3,400 away from my next level up. Cool. Yeah, so anyways, as I was saying before, we got to that boss. Oh, I think we beat that boss once before, but it felt nice to do it again. This is a cool one. This one I've been looking for quite some time. And glad to see. I knew I'd run into one in the wild eventually. So really glad to find it. I was playing around with it the other night. I was just having a blast. It's so much fun. And that's this guy right here. The Casio Rap Man. That's Rap Man, okay? Look at it. It's a thing of fucking beauty. So you got your keys here. You've got your scratch pad here, and you've got your cheap little samples. You know what? Let's just play it right into the mic right now. So you've got two play modes. You've got play, which you can just play your tones. Here, we'll do it like this. So that way it goes right in. So you got play, where you can just play your tones. And then you can turn it to rap. And what you do is you pick a pattern. So the patterns are all laid out in the keys. So let's pick number 10. Yeah. And then you could choose your sample over top. So let's use electric bass. Yeah. And then if you want to do a break, all you have to do is just wait for your beat to hit in. Yeah. It's so awesome. And yeah, it's got the little samples here too. Now it doesn't exactly jump back in like you'd want it to. So anyways, a lot of fun. Glad to finally have one. So it looks like other people are logging off. Okay, well, let's stock up on our supplies at least. Okay, it looks like other people are logging off. No problem. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can do a lot of cool little tricks with that. Okay, well, we're not going to go to the bank just yet. What we're going to do is first we're going to feed our mag, because our mag is starving. And you know what? If there's somebody out there that's looking at me feed the mag, tell me if I'm feeding it right. I've done some research, and apparently that's what I should be feeding my mag. So, okay, we'll use some hit material, some defense material, Let's sell some of this crap. So yeah, I got that. I was playing that last night too while watching my new DVD acquisition as well, which I watched it quite a number of years ago, and it's one of those movies that you just never forget. It's not really a movie. It's a pseudo documentary, and the reason I say pseudo is because it's WWE material, World Wrestling Entertainment, and it's this one right here. The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. If you haven't seen it, I can't suggest enough that you watch it. So essentially, it was created during the era that the Ultimate Warrior was on the outs with the WWE. Speaking very poorly about them. Wasn't involved with the organization or anything like that. Was kind of just doing the indie circuit and doing speaking tours and stuff. By the way, rip Ultimate Warrior. He's a good guy. Okay, is anybody in Altamira? Maybe we'll jump ships. But the documentary is so biased. It's just terrible. Okay, there's a hard quest. Maybe we can jump in with there. Let's see if anybody else is online first. No, we'll stick in Altamira. But yeah, they just throw the guy under a fucking bus. Just make him look like an absolute fool. And but it's good. It shows all of his old like promos and shit like that, and he's such a nutcase. It was great. The Ultimate Warrior was an amazing character back in the day. So anyways, I'm glad to find that for a couple of bucks. So all right, let's just see who exactly is playing in those games. So let's choice search. I don't know any of those people. They're in Quest anyway. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to join them if they're in Quest. Would have been nice to get to level 88, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Good news is, it's Thursday. I will most certainly be on Saturday night. So maybe we can... I think we're going to quit for now. Let's save our game first. So, save slot 1. Oh, invalid. Save slot 1. Save slot 1. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I have my... Why am I not doing it right? /save 1. Character data saved. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Quit. Disconnect. Yes. Yeah. So I'll be on for sure on Saturday. I've got a couple of things I got to finish up around the house and stuff like that. But oh well, it is what it is. All the gaming news that came out recently, I really don't have a big take on it because I don't typically follow the nuances of the gaming community. But I've been reading a couple of these articles on that PewDiePie fella. I don't watch his videos because I'm a 35-year-old man and you should not be watching PewDiePie videos. If you do, whatever, enjoy. But yeah, I guess he's in hot water for some things he said. And I was looking at some clips and it blew my mind. I was like, dude, you make millions of dollars off this website. Why would you sabotage your career? Like, that's what I was thinking more than anything. It had nothing to do with the content, because being a person who comes from a background of film, you kind of understand how people operate when they're on camera. And a lot of the things they say don't have a lot of intention behind it other than to drum interest in yourself as a commodity. So obviously these things were being said for some sort of dramatic effect, some sort of shock effect, and just to create interest. And I guess it did in the wrong way. But beyond that, I have no interest in the character. I just thought it was kind of funny to watch those clips. So anyways, I'll let you guys go for now. That was really cool to jump in with those people. And yeah, hopefully we can play a little bit of Starlancer again soon. I ended up ordering something to make the game a little bit more interesting, and it's probably not going to come in anytime in the very near future, but I'm hoping it'll come in probably next week from Japan. So who knows, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, everybody have a great night, and I will see you when I see you. Take care.